everybody? A little bit of a bonus edition. Eric Torres Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Torres. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody is having a great day. And we got ourselves something a little bit different here on the Eric Torres Pod. And that is because, how about this? Kentucky point guard Lamont Butler is joining the Aaron Torres Pod here this evening or morning or whenever you're watching it, okay? And so here's the thing. I do a lot of interviews. I'm fortunate to know a lot of people. But Lamont and his family and his inner circle are people that I consider to be close friends, okay? So I've told the story when Lamont played at the Final Four for San Diego State. I said it when he committed to Kentucky. This is a kid I've known since he's about 13, 14 years old. His former high school coach, who is now coaching D2. By the way, the D2 team is playing at Arizona tonight, so a big game for Point Loma. But I've known his high school coach, Justin Downer, for years. And Justin told me when Lamont was probably a freshman or sophomore in high school, you got to come watch this kid. He is going to be a high major point guard when it's all said and done. So I have followed Lamont's career since then, and it has been such a pleasure and a privilege to watch him grow as a player, as a person, into a man, and now one of the faces of Kentucky basketball. So we're going to talk to Lamont in just a second. We're going to cover the whole ground. How did he end up at Kentucky? Why Kentucky? The relationship with Mark Pope, the quick recruitment. He entered the portal, I think, on a Wednesday night. By Friday afternoon, he was committed to Kentucky. So I cannot wait to share this interview with Lamont Butler here in just a moment. Before we get started, a couple quick things. First of all, as always, make sure you are following our Torres on UK Twitter page, Torres on UK, all sorts of late-breaking Kentucky coverage. Torres on UK. That is where, in addition to everything that I do, that is our Kentucky-specific page. Mark is a great intern that helps me run it. I appreciate that. Also, before we get started, do want to, as always, welcome back one of our favorite partners, our favorite sponsors. I'm talking about Cauley Puffs. Okay, so it's football season. You're on the couch a lot. Thursday night football. All day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday or Monday Night Football. Oh, by the way, don't forget college basketball is coming, so you're going to be on the couch even more. And you're looking for a healthy snack, but a snack that also tastes delicious. You're on the couch so much, you don't want to turn it into a fat slob, okay? Well, that is where Cauley Puffs comes in. This is a family-owned company not far from where I live, and the owner of the company, Joey, somebody that I consider now to be a friend as well as a partner. Joey, just like me and you, sports fan, he's on the couch, he's watching games, he's got young kids, and he tried to figure out what is a snack that I'm going to enjoy, that my kids are going to enjoy, that is healthy, but also delicious. And that's where he came up with Cauley Puffs. Okay, these are the alternative to the crap that you see in the grocery aisle. They're baked, not fried, healthy ingredients, avocado oil, nothing greasy, but they taste phenomenal. Don't just take my word for it. By the way, lots of listeners of the pod have tried these out, and I want you to try them as well. For more information, to try your first bag, visit CauleyPuffs.com. That's CauleyPuffs.com. CauleyPuffs.com. They are also available on Amazon, where you could just get them. You got other stuff in your shopping cart, just throw some Cauley Puffs in. You can try them there. You'll love them. Don't take my word for it. Try it yourself. So thank you again to Cauley Puffs. And I'll tell you what, let's not waste any more time. Let's get to my interview with Kentucky point guard, PG1, Lamont Butler. Joining me via Zoom, one star player for one of the most interesting teams in college basketball, point guard, University of Kentucky. But a kid I've known a long time. I consider you a friend. I consider your family a friend. I consider your dad a friend. Lamont Butler, Kentucky point guard. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I just got back from I visited the Children's Hospital here in the UK with a couple of my teammates. So I'm in a good mood right now.
That's incredible. And I want to get to all the stuff that you've done previously off the court and all that. First of all, let me ask you, like Kentucky point guard. I mean, listen, you had a great career at San Diego State. It's a great program with a lot of its own history. And so it's no disrespect intended in any way, shape, or form to anybody there. But Kentucky does kind of ring a different bell, like when people hear it kind of nationally. What does it mean to you? Is it still surreal to you? You've been on campus probably 4 or 5 months now to say you're the Kentucky point guard.
Yeah, no, it's definitely surreal. I mean, growing up watching, Kentucky, I mean, that was probably one of the main schools I watched, watching John Wall, thinking of the other great point guards, Eric Bledsoe, De'Aaron Fox, Guys like that I always looked up to and, have fun watching. Now I'm in their shoes. It's definitely a surreal moment. A dream come true. I'm just honored and grateful that I'm here.
I remember over the summer, I remember seeing when they had the TBT, you were sitting down, you sat down with Eric Bledsoe. How much fun did you have doing that?
That was really cool, man. It was great to meet him. I mean, the first time I met him, I was like 10 years old, just, taking a picture with him. But, really being able to sit down, hear about his experiences here, experiences in NBA. And that was really cool to, meet him. And, after that, we had a couple conversations. He gave me great advice, for this year and just in my career moving forward. So it was great to meet him.
Real quick, I mean, he was a Clipper. I mean, when you said you met him at 10 years old, where was that? What was the circumstances with it?
Yeah, so my AAU coach had ties to NBA, so he had got us to play at Staples Center, and
Okay.
that night the Suns were playing the Clippers, and he was on the Suns. Eric Bledsoe was on the Suns, and we had just played, and we went outside and we saw him walking, and my team we took a picture with him. So that was the first time I met him.
And what was the best advice that he has since given you? You said you've been texting him a little bit since you met him in person.
The best advice was just have fun with it. Not put too much pressure on, this year or, having the best year of your life or anything like that. He just told me just have fun. And, I think that's going to go well for this year.
Fantastic. I want to talk a little bit about your journey. I have the picture. I'm not going to flash it up now. Well, but people watching the interview will see you and I snapped a quick picture at the Final Four. But I remember asking you, at the podium at the Final Four 2 years ago, 2023. I remember you, sophomore year of high school, your high school coach at the time, Justin Downer, who, by the way, has a big game tonight himself. He's a D2 head coach. They're playing at Arizona on Monday night. But he said, you got to come out, watch this kid. He's a future D1 guy. He's a future high major guy, all that good stuff. And I told you this at the podium, man. You were probably what, like 5'4", 5'5" at that. Maybe I'm underselling you a little bit, but you certainly aren't the man that you've grown into today. For people who don't know your journey, you mentioned all those guys, John Waller, but those are guys that were known commodities as sophomores, freshmen in high school. Your journey's been a little bit different. I know it's a long journey at this point, dating back to high school and all that, but would love for people who don't know a lot about before Kentucky to tell you a little bit about, your journey to get to Kentucky.
Yeah, so I'll say starting in high school, I came in, I was probably about 5'6".
Okay, so I undersold you a little bit. I'm sorry.
I
You're
was
about,
probably
yeah, yeah.
about, probably about 120. And, I wasn't vision, just looking at me, I wasn't, very, pleasing to look at. I didn't look like I wasn't a very great athlete. I was just a very solid little point guard. And I just continued to grow my game. Justin Downer, who you talked about, he really took me under his wing. We used to work out almost every day. Early in the morning, like 5, 6 a.m., or, we'll come at night, 7, 8, 9 p.m., after everything, after school or something like that. And we put a lot of work in there. And then, I just continued to work. And, I started to grow a little bit, started to fill out. About my senior year, I had, junior year, I had quite a few offers. It was all, mid-major offers, couple high majors. But, teams started to see me, but it was nothing like Kentucky. I wasn't a 5-star, and I was, maybe ranked in the 200s, 300s. I wasn't really a high value guy, but I just continued to work. I was very blessed to go play at San Diego State. They offered me. Coach Acker went over there, and I was very excited to play for San Diego State. We had a phenomenal 4 years. I had a phenomenal 4 years there. We won a bunch of conference championships, conference tournament championships. Went to the Final Four. I was blessed to play in March Madness. All 4 years I was there. So, I had a great time. But after my senior year, I decided to enter the portal, and Coach Pope, who was at BYU, who I played, 4 years straight. I have that respect for. He called me as soon as I entered the portal, and his vision for me and his team at Kentucky, for his future here, it was just something I wanted to be a part of. So, I'm very glad, I'm able to be here, and I'm trying to make the most of it while I'm here.
Yeah, you mentioned even just going into the portal. There was a time for people who don't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I want to, put any misinformation out there, but like you were pretty set. My college career was incredible. It's time for me to take the next journey. Like there was a time where you were not even thinking about going into the portal, right? Because that was kind of a late decision.
Yeah, it was. I didn't even, it didn't even cross my mind really. I was focused on, the pre-draft process a little bit, and then, it just, just talking with my dad and my family, we felt it would be best for me to just enter the portal and see what it was. You hear all these crazy things, but I feel like I had like I said, a great 4 years at San Diego State. I love my time there. I love the coaches, the people there. I still think San Diego is the best city in the world. So
Sure.
it was hard to leave, but I'm glad that I was able to land here.
And tell us about how quickly it kind of came together with Kentucky, because I could be mistaken on the timing here. I'm pretty sure you entered the portal on like Thursday night, West Coast time, and I think by Friday they were in Vegas at where you were working out for the pre-draft process. Was that timing accurate? And then also, like, how much does that show how much the staff really coveted you and valued you?
Yeah, no, it was quick, like you said. So I entered the portal, and then maybe the next day or 2 days
Yeah, I
later,
think it was 2 days.
I forgot exactly what
Yeah.
it was quick. Coach Jason Hart had called me, and he was like, "My guy, I need you here. We at Kentucky. Let's go to Kentucky." I was like, all right. I said, I know you, my guy. So I looked into it, talked to Cody Feger for a little bit there, and then I think Coach Pope had talked to my parents. My dad was like, I really like Coach Pope. And then the next day I went to work out and stuff, and then uh, my dad was saying like Kentucky's gonna come out here uh, the next day or something
Yeah.
like that. They're gonna come out here the next day, later. And then in the morning, it was like, okay, we're here. It was like eight, 9 in the morning. They was here, and it was the full staff. So, if the full staff come to see, I mean, that's like a high priority thing there. I really felt there that prioritized me, and they really wanted me, to come lead Kentucky. And, I felt, I just felt wanted. Felt like it was going to be a good situation for myself, my family, and I think it was going to be a good situation for them as well. So. I feel like we both benefited on the decision, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, and I was gonna say too, you mentioned you played against Coach Pope for 4 years. So, and this is no disrespect intended to anybody, but maybe a Kentucky fan kind of know, oh, they remember the name from the Final Four. But like I remember Coach Pope, I think it was after you committed, like was very vocal about the second he hit the portal, he was my number one priority. So like you said, I know it's like being appreciated, being wanted, all that, but I don't think people kind of realize like history is not the perfect word because you never really played for him, but
Yes,
like
sir.
he was very familiar with your game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. He was very familiar, and when we talked to him, he just kind of always said that he would always like rave about me like during the scouts, like before we would play him and things like that. Even Jackson Robinson told me that Coach Pope was always talking good about you during the scouts and things like that. So he was familiar with my game, and he knew what I brought to the table. And I think that's a big reason why he came after me so hard in the portal. But yeah, I kind of knew a little bit about him. I mean, I didn't really know. We just played them every year. I had great respect for his teams. I think they beat us more than we beat them as I was there. So it was always great respect. But I was very glad to meet him and see how genuine of a person he was.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is now that you've been on campus for a few months, the relationship with Coach Pope, and what is it like to play for, kind of him in this moment?
Yeah, I mean, me and Coach Pope have a great relationship. I mean, the other day we were just sitting down watching film of the whole exhibition. He really, really cares about his players. He builds a different connection, special connection with each one of his players, which is really cool to see. He always has great energy, great motivator, always giving us little quotes and advice and things like that. Even outside of the court. Just not always just on the court advice, but off the court advice, and he's just been a great mentor for all of us. And then just playing in this offense, it's very fast paced. it just kind of opens up the floor for my game and things like that. I mean, the whole staff is great too. So, I feel in a great situation here.
Let me ask you a question. Don't want to put you in a bad spot, get you in any sort of trouble here, but Kentucky, no, I won't. I promise. You know me, you're good. But 23rd in the first AP poll. I think that's the 8th ranked SEC team. And again, it's no disrespect to any of the other teams in the SEC, but I personally feel like you guys are a little bit underrated coming into the season. You know, from personal experience, what a Final Four team looks like, what a team that can compete for a championship looks like, what a team that is going to spend all of the year in the top 10, 15, 20 of college basketball looks like. Do you feel like, no disrespect to any other school, but do you feel like Kentucky's underrated coming into the year?
I think we're a little underrated. People don't really know what to expect from us. I mean, we got a new coach, new staff, all new players. At this high level college basketball organization that has always been on top of the game. So I feel like people really don't know what we're gonna bring to the table. But what I've learned from us, just from going through this fall and the summer, is how close of a team that we've gotten. And we're so resilient. Like in practice, there'll be times where one team is up like 16-2, and the team comes back. Just from how fast of the pace we play, but also just like the resilience that we have on this team. And I feel like we're gonna bring that all year. I think defensively we're gonna be really good. Offensively, we're very tough to guard with the pieces that we have, and I think it's gonna be surprising for some teams. When we play against them. And, we ready to shock the world.
Very good. Couple more. We'll get you out of here. First of all, you mentioned, you played a lot against Jackson Robinson, who's now one of the more high profile players on the team. Just curious what you've seen of him, because I know he's a player that, like you, like basically everybody on the team, everybody that's a Kentucky fan is excited to watch for the first time in the coming, well, not for the first time. We saw you against Kentucky Wesleyan, but you know what I mean, as the season unfolds.
Yeah, so Jackson, he's so smooth, man. Just watching him play, like he never looks rushed. Like he's always just in control. His jumper is smooth. That's how I describe his game. He's just so smooth, and then defensively he's been playing really well for us. He got like a 7 foot wingspan, so he's gonna be causing disruption and things like that. Offensively he's been playmaking very well. We know him as a great scorer, great shooter, but he's been really making plays for other people. And then just him being a vocal leader for us. He's the only one that played for Coach Pope, so he kind of already knows how he runs things and what he expects. So him being that leader for us, letting us know what to expect. It's been great playing with him.
What about a guy that, first of all, tell us about a guy that seems to have a great amount of respect for you, Kirk Risa. I know he's a little bit banged up right now, but I remember in the summer, he's doing some sort of media availability. He says, no. Lamont's PG1. He's my guy. I'm here to help him. What is your relationship with Kirk?
Me and Kirk, man, we tight, man. We always hanging out. That's my guy. He's challenged me a lot this summer, man. Just having to guard him, every day, play against him. He's a phenomenal shooter, a great point guard. He can really pass the ball. The pace he plays with, he cuts hard and things like that. So, we've been battling all summer and fall. Very excited to finally get to play with him. But off the court, we hang out a lot. We playing ping pong, just chilling and doing things like that. So, we've grown a good relationship together.
Is he as funny as he seems in media availabilities and stuff?
Nah, he's like that all the time. Funniest dude to me. You gotta experience him one time for sure.
Fantastic. I'll just let you go kind of on this, is just basically like, what do you, like, the season is here. The games are going to start to count again, you've been through college basketball. You've won at a high level at San Diego State. I assume it's at least a little bit different at Kentucky, but like, what are you most excited about? Because I can't believe next week it starts. It's go time. It counts in the standings,
Yeah, I'm just excited about another year to play basketball. Prove people wrong, and just excited for another year to get better. I think that's all it's about. I feel like I've grown my game each year. And, I just want to, continue to show that I've been growing my game, and my ultimate goal is playing the NBA. So to show scouts that I can run a team. I showed that at the mid major level, so now I want to show it at the high major level. With Kentucky basketball and playing in the SEC, things like that, and just having the chance to go win another national or win a national championship. I want to get back there, and number 9. That's what we've been preaching this whole time. I feel like we got the pieces. We got the coaches, we got the whole. The fans. I feel like we got the right situation to do it in.
Fantastic. Actually, one last quick question is: you mentioned being at the Children's Hospital. Is that anything fans need to know about or should know about? I don't know if the school or you want it out there, but it sounds like a pretty cool opportunity you had this morning.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. We was able to meet a bunch of kids, in the hospital, and their families. They were, are all wide eyed and happy to see us. And we were able to give them, a couple gifts, gave them some wristbands and some UK little tattoos that they can put on. They were all getting ready for Halloween, so it was really cool to see them and help brighten their day because the hospital's not always their favorite place to be in, but we want to just make their day good and continue to pray for those people.
Fantastic. Lamont Butler, point guard, Kentucky. Hopefully we do this again over the course of the season. I didn't get a chance to ask you about your budding music career, which blew up my timeline for about 4 or 5 days there. But dude, man, thank you so much. I can't wait to watch. I know everybody watching this interview and listening to this interview, Kentucky fans cannot wait to watch you as well. So thank you for the time. And man, we'll do it again soon. And obviously thank you to Kentucky for helping us get this coordinated before the season. I know there's a lot going on your schedule, on everybody's schedule. So thank you, Lamont, and we'll talk soon. Okay.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. You're my guy, man. So no problem.